Masterclass on Maximizing the Potential of Students with Autism at School by Ms. Nishantini, designation, founder and director, organization name, All Right Autism Center, country, Malaysia, and Ms. Amberine Pradhan, designation, promoter and director, psychologist, organization name, Energia SOI, country, India.
So we want every child to have the rights to appropriate education beyond the diagnosis. So the role of parents and the school authority is mandatory over here. So this situation can only change by creating the awareness to understand the spectrum. So as much as we understand, the more differences we can actually make. So now we are going to learn about the core deficits and how it can help you to understand the spectrum better. So we have chosen about 3 core deficits to share with you today. Those are theory of mind, executive function, and central cortex. The definition of theory of mind is your innate ability where you can predict the relationship between the external affair and the internal affair and internal state of your mind, and this is a cognitive ability. And now let's go to executive function. So executive function is basically located in the frontal lobe of a human's brain, and it's very important in keeping several tasks going on. It's important for multitasking, switching tasks, decision making, and also resolving conflicts. So it's basically it's very important. This function is important for planning and working memory. Next, we are going to go on to the central cortex. So central cortex is one of the core deficits. So it is basically the ability to understand the context where we all see the bigger picture. So it is our natural tendency to group things and to perceive it as a whole. That's what we all do. So in a normal cognitive system, we have a built-in propensity to form a chorus and to generalize a wide range of contexts as possible. So now we have learned about the 3 core deficits, and we're going to move on to the characteristics of autism, and Miss Amber will be taking over from here.
Hi, my name is Amber. Hi, my name is Amber. Hi, my name is Amber. So when I speak about repetitive behavior, it feels what's so big deal about it, right? So when we're talking about autism, we're talking about the first fundamental role of communication, and there's an impairment in communication, right? So for example, if you're trying to tell me something and I'm kind of a recorder which is stuck and it's repeating the same thing again and again, the conversation will not move forward. The conversation will not take a logical conclusion because I am stuck because I introduced myself, I paused, I again introduced myself, I paused, I again introduced myself, and I paused, and the conversation didn't move any further. So when I say repeated behavior or when I say communication deficit, it's very difficult to make them understand what should they be doing or what you want them to do or what they need. So for example, if you tell them, do you want to eat food? Would you like to have lunch? And if they say yes, and then they stop, and they say yes, and then they stop. But when you ask them to come to the table, they don't move, they don't come, they don't follow the instruction, and then you don't know what to do. So because there is an impairment in socialization, because the ability to understand their environment, there's a deficit, they're having difficulty to communicate with that environment. So whosoever the caregiver goes through a lot of wear and tear or burnout because they don't know how to handle them, what to tell them, because it's the same behavior day in and day out. So it doesn't matter what spectrum of autism you are, they have one or the other form of difficulty and challenges which is impairing their everyday functioning or which is impairing their ability to socialize or interact with their environment, and that also results into impairment in cognitive ability.